What if I told you the biggest star in women's basketball just walked away from a deal so massive it could have changed her life forever? I'm talking about Caitlin Clark, the 23-year-old phenom who dragged women's hoops out of the shadows and into primetime TV. She just turned down a jaw-dropping $15 million contract from Ice Cube's Big Three League. $15 million. And while the WNBA breathed a massive sigh of relief, some players weren't exactly cheering. Instead, they're whispering, complaining, and demanding credit in a story that, let's be honest, wouldn't even exist without her. But here's the thing. This isn't just about money. This is about loyalty over luxury, fans over fortune, legacy over instant cash. Think about it. While most WNBA players max out at $249,000 a year, Clark walked away from enough money to buy her own island, or at least a mansion with a basketball court inside. And Ice Cube wasn't playing around. They started at $5 million, then tripled it to $15 million. For just 10 weeks of basketball, that's $1.5 million per game. One game. Most WNBA players would need 6 decades to make what Clark was offered for one afternoon on the court. And yet, she didn't hesitate. No pause, no let me think about it. Just a clear, confident no. Because unlike the players throwing shade online, Clark knows this moment is bigger than her. It's about building something that lasts. Meanwhile, the WNBA, total panic. They cycled through all 5 stages of grief in 3 days. First came denial. There's no way our golden goose would ever leave, right? Then came anger, bargaining, and eventually the terrifying realization of what could have been. Depression hit when they realized Clark could have made more in 10 weeks than an entire team makes in a year. Finally, acceptance, and relief so sweet you could practically hear it echo through league offices. Because Clark didn't just turn down the money, she chose them. She chose the grind of an 82-degree gym in Indiana over the glamour of Ice Cube's Big Three. She stayed, and by doing that, the WNBA dodged a financial nuclear bomb. But not everyone was thrilled. While Clark was making the most selfless decision in modern sports, other players were tallying their own salaries and realizing just how unfair it all looked. The WNBA salary cap sits at $1.50 million for an entire team. Clark's offer was 10 times that just for her. The math doesn't even feel real. And jealousy, it's everywhere. Legendary broadcaster Dick Vitale called it what it was: pure envy. Look at the All-Star vote. Fans had Clark at number 1. Media ranked her 3rd. Players, they shoved her all the way down to 9th among guards. 9th, that wasn't an oversight. That was a message. And here's the irony. They resent her, but she's the reason they'll ever see pay raises at all. Clark's salary this season, $78,000. Less than some people spend on a car. Yet she's generating 27% of the WNBA's entire economic activity. An economist at Indiana University calculated that her rookie season alone brought $36 million in economic impact to Indianapolis. One player, worth more than some small countries. And the league is paying her like she's managing a Dairy Queen. Her response? Pure humility. While others leak contracts to the media, Clark laughs about not wanting to spend $10 on airplane Wi-Fi. Think about that. A woman who turned down $15 million is stressing over Delta Internet. That's not just humble. That's transcendent. And here's why it matters. Clark could have said forget this to the entire WNBA ecosystem. And who would have blamed her? A league that underpays her, players who resent her, media that doubts her. Any rational person would have taken the money. But Clark isn't just rational, she's visionary. She knows her worth isn't just in dollars. It's in little girls practicing logo threes, in families road tripping to games, in mothers and fathers planning outings around the WNBA. She's building something sustainable, not cashing in on a moment. Her impact, staggering. Her debut drew 2.1 million viewers, the biggest WNBA audience in 20 years. The Indiana Fever, who pulled 81,000 fans all last season, broke that number in just 5 home games with Clark. One Fever, Mystics game had to be moved from a 4,000 sheet gym to a 20,000 arena, and it still sold out. Families drove across states. Kids wore Clark jerseys to school. Offices suddenly had water cooler talk about women's basketball. And the stat that says it all, WNBA merch sales skyrocketed 2,066% year over year. That's not growth, that's an economic explosion. And here's the irony. Her staying might be the very thing that raises everyone else's salaries. New CBA negotiations could see max contracts jump to $1 million, a 300% increase. That doesn't happen without Clark. It happens because she chose to stay. Losing her would have been catastrophic. She's the engine powering the climb. Every TV contract, every sponsor, every expansion team, it all ties back to her. Her rookie card sold for $660,000, more than her entire 4-year WNBA contract. When cardboard is worth more than the actual player's salary, you know the system is broken. And yet through all of it, Clark stays grounded. While others gripe about spotlight distribution, she talks about fans, about the joy of kids in the stands, about families making memories. She's not chasing personal glory, she's chasing a legacy. And that's what this story is really about. Not money. Vision. Caitlin Clark had the chance to cash in and leave. Instead, she stayed. She's transforming women's basketball from a niche charity case into a cultural juggernaut. She's building something that will outlast every career in the league right now. For now, the WNBA can breathe easy. Their golden goose didn't fly away. But here's the warning. They'd better figure out how to properly pay the woman who saved their league. Because next time, even Caitlin Clark's legendary loyalty might not be enough to overcome the math of being valued at $1 billion while earning a beginner's salary. The panic is over. The lesson remains. Sometimes, the most valuable player isn't the one demanding the most money. It's the one willing to sacrifice it, to build something bigger than themselves. And Caitlin Clark just proved that true champions aren't only made on the court. Sometimes, they're made in the moments when you walk away from the biggest payday of your life to chase something far more valuable: legacy.